Okay, I hope that everybody's doing good. Happy New Year. Have I been live since I have been live since the new year. Happy New Year, everyone. And just in case you guys are just coming in, welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we have a very informative topic, okay? A very informative topic about fibroid surgery. And specifically, I'm talking about a myomectomy. Okay, why you should cancel your myomectomy. Okay. This also goes. I'm also referring to UFE procedures, uterine fibroid embolization as well, but especially a myomectomy. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna tell you what number one I wish was told to me many years ago, and I'm also gonna tell you what your doctor should be telling you in terms of a myomectomy. A lot of women don't know and don't understand the risk factors. And because I do what I do, I've been working with women for years to rid their bodies of fibroids, endometriosis, adenomyosis, to restore their hormonal balance, uterine prolapse, and so on and so forth. I understand what this actually does to the body, right? From personal experience and also from research, from working with clients, and yeah. So let's get into it. As y'all are coming in, I would love to know where you guys are watching from. I would love to know where you guys are watching from. If you're watching from YouTube, the replay, let me know where you're also watching from as well. We're gonna get into it, okay? Make sure that you also tap on the like button as well. If you're watching from YouTube, tap the thumbs up button. If you're watching from TikTok, tap on that like button so that we can get more women in here. Our goal is 10,000 likes in this live stream, okay? I don't think that's too that's too big of a goal because of the information I'm going to be sharing. It's very vital and it's really, really important, okay? So as we wait for more women to come on in, I know that they're going to get rid of TikTok sometime this month, I think. I'm not sure. You know, they always talk about getting rid of TikTok. But anyway, just so in case you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, subscribe to the YouTube channel, because whether I'm on TikTok or not, I will definitely be on YouTube. So the link is in my bio if you want to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Now, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, so let me also welcome everyone that I have it, because I always forget to do this. Okay, because we want only people to comment on YouTube that are subscribers, okay? No trolls. Hey, Latrice, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope that you're doing good. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As y'all are coming in, let me know where y'all are watching from, okay? And also put a 1 in the chat if you're suffering with fibroids, whether you're watching from YouTube or whether you're watching from TikTok. We're waiting on more people to come on in before we get started. Tap on that screen. Happy New Year. Oh, Chicago, okay. Happy New Year, Latrice. Happy New Year, ladies. Happy New Year. Okay, so you're dealing with fibroids. Okay, so you're in the right place, okay? And for those that are watching, you're in the right place. We're going to have a lot to talk about today. You guys get comfortable. Thank you for the likes. We want to like the video so we can get more women in here. Y'all tap on that screen. Tap, 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 tap. This is an important conversation. We're talking about why you should cancel your fibroid surgery. If you have fibroids, you have to, this is going to be very important, okay? So for those that are new, if you're watching me for the first time, let me know in the chat as well. Put a 1 in the chat if you're watching me for the first time. For those that are new, my name is Sasha. I am a holistic womb specialist. And what I do is I help women dissolve their fibroids. I help women get to the root cause of their fibroids. I help women dissolve their fibroids, reverse chronic reproductive health conditions through my womb detoxification framework that targets the root cause, okay? So I've helped hundreds of women around the world through my courses, programs, through working with me, through masterclasses, workshops, not only shrink their fibroids, but dissolve their fibroids, reverse adenomyosis, reverse endometriosis, heal from PCOS, from ovarian cyst, regulate their menstrual cycles. And I have the receipts to show that, video testimonials, and for those that are new, and written testimonials. As a matter of fact, we just got one review and one testimonial yesterday. A woman said that she had endometriosis, right? And she's just subscribed literally to my Sacred Womb Letters, which is where I write articles and go more in depth, right? So you can subscribe by clicking the link in my bio. She's literally just subscribed. And she was like, I've always had excruciating pain due to endometriosis. I've always had excruciating, painful menstrual cycles. And she said, because I've been reading Sasha Rose's, which is my name, content, ever since I've been subscribed to her Sacred Womb letters, my periods have been amazing. And I will put that on my stories. But if you are on my Facebook, it's there. I posted it on my Facebook. I also posted it on Threads. Did I post it on my community tab on YouTube? If I have not posted it on a community tab, I will. But she's just literally subscribed to the Sacred Womb letters. So if you're not subscribed, link in my bio. If you're not subscribed, it should be a link in my description box if you're watching me from YouTube, FYI. Okay, so let's get started. Ladies, only one person in here has fibroids. If you have, wow, I didn't know you can repost on here. Thank you, Latrice, for reposting these live. Ladies, if you don't mind, like the live, repost the live. Let's get more women in here. We got to talk about why you need to cancel your fibroid surgery, okay? Why you need to, so I'm talking to women that have fibroids or any womb issues, Let's talk about it, okay? So I always get women that tell me their doctors want them to have surgery. And let me know in the chat if that's you. Has your doctor suggested surgery? Has your doctor, if you have fibroids, has your doctor suggested that? And they're always wondering why, right? And it's important for you to understand, before we get into why you should cancel your fibroid surgery, you have to understand why your doctor is suggesting surgery. Because a lot of you guys don't know, you don't understand. It's important to know why, right? There's a reason why they suggest that you have surgery. Surgery is what doctors are trained to do. They're supposed to, when women come in with fibroids, when women come in with womb issues, whether it's endometriosis or ovarian cysts, they're supposed to offer up surgery. They're literally trained to do that. So medical school, in case you guys don't know, it doesn't teach prevention. It doesn't teach getting to the root cause of the problem. It teaches intervention, right? So that's what they do. They're trained to remove, but they're not trained to get to the root cause of the problems. And that's where I come in, getting to the root, because it's important that you can't go through a surgery and not understanding the root causes of why you develop fibroids. This is why women will go through repeat surgeries. And let me know in the chat, has that happened to you? Put a 1 in the chat. Have you gone through repeat surgeries for fibroids, to get rid of fibroids? You know, a lot of women have had repeat myomectomies, repeat UFE procedures to get rid of fibroids, and have the fibroids grow right back, right? This is very, very common. And typically, I know that we don't have a lot of people on here today, but typically when I'm doing these live streams, I hear women tell me, I had surgery and they grew back, okay? So it's really, really common. If you guys don't mind, let's tap on the screen so we can get more women in here, okay? Tap on the screen if you're watching from TikTok, and don't forget to click the like button if you're watching from YouTube, okay? So doctors are not trained to get to the root cause of the problem. They're not trained to address the root cause. They're not trained for that. They're not trained for that, okay? Doctors, and you have to understand, you guys, doctors are also not trained to do natural healing. Because sometimes you guys act confused, like you don't understand. Doctors are not trained when it comes to natural healing. When it comes to holistic health, they're not trained for that modality. They're just not trained for that, right? A typical doctor's appointment is 15 minutes long, right? On average, a typical doctor's, so they're trying to get in and get out, right? They're trying to get in and get out. Right now, I'm up for surgery, need help. You're in the right place, Solange. You're in the right place. They're trying to, okay, they have patients. Okay, you have fibroid surgery. They don't have time to go over your nutrition, your hormones. They don't have time for all of that. You're there for 15 minutes, right? Your liver health, your lymphatic system. They don't have time for that. But what they do have time for is scheduling you in for surgery, whether it's, or prescribing even a myomectomy or even a hysterectomy, right? Because that's just easier for them. It's just like it's just like when women are having babies. You see nowadays, most women are having C-sections. That's because it's easier for doctors. So every little thing that happens, they're gonna we need to do a C-section because it's easier. It takes less time. They don't have time to sit there and for you to be, and unfortunately, and it sucks that healthcare has turned into this, but this is the reality. So you have to understand why they're telling you to go for surgery, but you have to also advocate for yourself. That does not mean that you have to go through surgery. Because a lot of people think that just because they're doctors, so they have to have surgery to remove their fibroids, they feel as though they have to actually do that. And I'm like, you're an adult. You make the ultimate decision when it comes to your body, not the doctor, okay? They said mine are very small. They have offered surgery, pain management, or birth control. None of that is going to get to the root cause of the problem. As a matter of fact, all of that is actually going to do more harm on the back end. Okay? All doctors have to offer are, like I say this in almost every live, birth control, surgeries, and medications. That's it. When it comes to fibroids, when it comes to reproductive health. So none of that is getting to the root cause of the problem. None of that is helping you long term. It's just, like I said, it's just a temporary fix, okay? And if you guys don't, TikTok, don't forget, our goal is 10,000 likes. Tap on that screen, okay? So also too, the reason why your doctor is, prescribing surgery, is offering up surgery because they get incentives when you have surgery, okay? You guys do know the insurance companies pay doctors for these procedures, right? You guys do know that, right? They get paid when you get surgery. That's why they're pushing these surgeries, right? So the more surgeries they perform, the more money they get. So they're not putting your health first. I'm so sorry. These doctors are not putting your health first. They got to eat too. Unfortunately, they work for a system that does not put health first. You guys know when it comes to Western medicine, it does not put health first. If you don't know that, you're in for a rude awakening, right? It's about profit over people, unfortunately. So you have to, especially when it comes to women's health, especially because notice how when it comes to men's health and when it comes to, they're not telling men to take out their prostates and their testicles, but they're telling women to take out their parts. Women have to stop falling for that, okay? So this creates, when surgery is a financial incentive for doctors, right? Even when it's not necessary. They say there's a study that's done that says 90% of hysterectomies are unnecessary. So women are actually getting their uteruses removed for no reason. Majority of women. Okay, so yeah, don't forget, tap on the screen. 10,000 likes, don't forget. Tap on the screen. Okay, so also too, doctors they're not trained to heal you naturally. They're not trained to, so this is what a lot of people get confused when they're like, okay, when they hear from holistic health practitioners and when they hear from their doctor, it's the opposite, because doctors are not trained when it comes to holistic health. They're not trained. They have zero training in nutrition. They have zero training in really very limited training when it comes to hormones. They don't even, if you ask your doctor what's estrogen dominance, which is what like the main root cause of fibroids, they have no clue what you're talking about. All they know is surgery, medications, and birth control. That's the language they talk, right? So they literally don't understand that fibroids, majority of doctors don't know that fibroids can be eliminated naturally. They don't know that you could shrink and dissolve your fibroids naturally. So then we have to ask ourselves, what do we hope to achieve by going to the doctors when it comes to fibroids? Because I know that when women have fibroids, they're always in the doctor's office, whether it's ultrasounds, MRIs, blood tests, hormone testing. Women that have fibroids, they're at the doctors all the time. And then, pap smears. And then I have to ask you, what are you hoping to achieve, right? It's like you're going to something, you're going to a place for relief, but they're not there to give you that, right? And if you know that you are on a natural healing journey and that you actually are thinking about your health long-term and understand that when you have fibroids are a symptom of a deeper problem going on in the body. They're just a symptom. They're not the actual problem. You guys know that, right? And if you didn't know that, I'm here to tell you that. I'm here to teach you guys that, right? Fibroids are just a symptom. So if we have fibroids, our gut health is all messed up. Our gut is backed up. Our lymphatic system is congested. Our elimination organs, such as the liver, the kidneys, they're not filtering the way they're supposed to. That's why your body is keeping in waste instead of dispelling waste properly. So we got to support our elimination organs. We got to support, the organs in our body we got to get our organs healthy. Our organs are not working efficiently and effectively to remove waste from our body. Our bodies are trained to detoxify itself every single day. But when you have fibroids, you have gotten in the way of that. You've gotten in the way of that. So you have to ask yourself, how am I getting in the way of my own health? How am I getting in the way of my own health and my own healing, right? This has nothing to do with you just getting fibroids and, oh, woe is me. No, it's not that. And there was a time where I thought that too. I thought, I'm just unlucky. No, it was how I was treating my body. It was how I was treating my health. And we have to be, and it's not just physical health, it's also emotional health. What are you holding on to? What traumas and what pain, what heartbreaks, what things are you holding on to or suppressing? Okay, so it's deeper than, and this is, doctors don't get this deep. They don't get this deep. They're very surface level, and they're looking at the fibroid on a surface level, right? They're looking at, okay, it's a fibroid, we can take it out, not knowing that it will just grow right back. This is why women can have several surgeries and the fibroids will still grow back. This is why somebody messaged me a few months ago and had 5 myomectomies, 5, and still had fibroids. She over the course of 12, 13 years, she had went to get her fibroids removed every couple of years, and they grew right back. Some of you guys have been in that situation where you went to have surgery and they grew right back. You went to have surgery, they grew right back. That's what happens when you don't address the root cause. This is why it's so important to address the root cause of a problem, so it can no longer become a problem. Right? It can no longer be a problem. You don't want a problem to be a recurring theme in your life. This is why women will go 10 years dealing with fibroids, 20 years dealing with fibroids. Fibroids will not leave them. They will always grow back, and they think it's because they're unlucky. That's not what it is. It's not bad luck. It's not because you're unlucky. No, it's because of how you're treating your body. You haven't addressed the root cause of the problem. I don't get pain. My belly doesn't look big, but it's really large and it's pressing on shifting organs. Okay, so Solange, everybody, has different symptoms. So just because you don't have pain, it's still there shifting organs. It's still causing issues, right? So it may not, and this happened to me. At first, I didn't have symptoms like that. Or I had symptoms, I just didn't know they were symptoms. But the symptoms got worse as the fibroids grew bigger, as the years went on, okay? So that's one thing you want to, so you don't want to wait until it gets so bad. You want to address it. We shouldn't wait for a problem to get so bad. And sometimes I'm saying this with love. Some of you guys are waiting. You guys can't wait until the fibroids get so large before you do anything about it. You guys have to stop. You shouldn't be waiting until your fibroids get to 8 centimeters, 13 centimeters, 20 centimeters, 25 centimeters, or before you have, 10 fibroids before you're actually doing something about it. That's ridiculous. We got to stop doing that. And that's a lack of self-love. And I'm saying that with love. Okay? You just got to remove. Okay, well, you're in the right place because listen up. Okay? And don't, what's done is done. However, you have to understand what these surgeries are doing to your body. And you got to understand that you haven't addressed, for those of you that's already had surgery, you haven't addressed the root cause. You haven't, so they grow back. And in case your doctor didn't tell you, I'm going to tell you, they grow back. And some of you guys watching more than likely experience that. You've experienced your fibroids growing back. Or somebody that's close to you that has fibroids that has experienced them growing back right after having surgery, okay? By the way, our goal is 10,000 likes, ladies, on TikTok, 10,000 likes, YouTube. Don't forget to like the video, okay? So let's talk about what actually these myomectomies, these fibroid surgeries, why you should cancel them, what they actually do to the body. A lot of you guys don't know. And for those of you that are on TikTok, be sure that you're also subscribed to my YouTube channel, FYI, because I'm not going to be on TikTok forever. TikTok, they talk about shutting it down. I don't know what's going on with TikTok, but I will be on YouTube. So if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, the link is in my bio. This live will also be, the replay will be on YouTube in the live stream section, okay? And I'm going to be doing more new content for YouTube in 2026. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. The link is in my bio. So what does having, Happy New Year, Marsh, happy early birthday. Okay, so what does these surgeries do to the womb? Because they don't tell you that. These doctors don't tell you what these surgeries actually do. They just want you to get surgery, right? They just want you to get surgery, right? But they don't tell you that these surgeries also cause things like scar tissue, and that they can have very serious implications on your health. As a matter of fact, a lot of women, they don't talk about the amount of women that have complications due to myomectomies. It's really common, especially if you're a woman that looks like me. You guys know what I mean? Especially, or you live in a third world country, okay? The risk is even higher, okay? I never knew why my cycle was so painful as a teen. I was in my 20s, my first pregnancy, had fibroids. Yeah, a lot of times the symptoms start before the fibroids even grow, right? A lot of times, because you guys have to understand, it's not the fibroid causing the problem. A lot of us think it's just the fibroid, but it is what actually caused the fibroid to develop. So when we have fibroids, remember, that I wish there was a root cause assessment test. Oh, yeah. So when clients are working with me and I have my one-on-one call with them, I get to the root of why their fibroids actually developed. That's one thing I do for my clients, because it could be slightly different for each woman depending on her past, depending on her health issues, depending on what she went through. But I will say this: estrogen dominance is a key factor in fibroids. When you're estrogen dominant, right? And unfortunately, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm not trying to tell you to blame your moms, but a lot of times when a woman is stressed out during her pregnancy, when a woman has dealt with fibroids herself and she has gone into pregnancy without getting her body healthy, without being in her optimum level of health, because in our community, I'm sorry, especially in the Black communities, in America in general, like, women are not taught to be at their healthiest when they go into pregnancy. I don't know why. Women will all types of health problems going, I just want to have a baby. But why not work on getting your body healthy first before you actually work on conceiving? It doesn't make any sense to me. So we're going into pregnancy, already have our hormones out of balance, already are unhealthy, right? And then we're passing these toxins and these things down to the baby. And that's why you see little girls, getting their periods early these days. That's estrogen dominance. Little girls having heavy periods, estrogen dominance. Little girls, having to leave school because they have a period. I had that too, estrogen dominance. And when you have estrogen dominance, what this actually means is that you're more likely to develop fibroids or PCOS or have issues with fertility. You're more likely, okay? Hey, sis, truth, and how. This is how we're losing our lives too during delivery. We aren't healthy. Listen, Elle. Listen, I'm telling you. And listen, a lot of us, okay, is there medical racism? Yes. But at the same time, you know what doesn't help? We're already going into pregnancy unhealthy. And we think, oh, it's these doctors and they're not listening to us. That's the aspect of it. But it's also the way we're going into pregnancy already obese. We're going into pregnancy already unhealthy, hormones imbalanced. It doesn't make any sense. Well, you're supposed to, and I always tell women, because women are always like, well, I have fibroids and I want to get pregnant. I said, listen, hold up there. Take about 3 to 6 months, shrink those fibroids, get your body healthy, get your hormones in balance. Because if you have fibroids, what does that mean for your health? That means that our fibroids is a full body issue. That means our hormones are way out of balance. We're dealing with lots of toxins in the body. The liver is backed up. The lymphatic system is backed up. Listen, we got to so women don't understand that when they think it's just the fibroid and they're looking at just the uterus is the issue. No, it's a full body issue. Okay. Hi, how can I get to your program? So I have fibroids and the doctor wants me to have surgery. So we have our 6-week program open, our 6-week womb healing experience open. You can click the link in my bio. If you want to read more about it, you can also join. As a matter of fact, I'm starting early. We're enrolling clients now for the 6-week womb healing experience. And I'm doing an early access. So you can actually start as early as tomorrow. It's supposed to start January 19th, but if you join before, like by midnight, the 6-week womb healing experience, you actually get 2 months in the program instead of 6 weeks. Okay, so you start tomorrow. You'll get the link to the actual curriculum, and then we start actually our Zoom calls on the 19th, the week of the 19th. So FYI, okay? So check out the link in my bio. And if you are interested on YouTube, check out the link in my description box for women that are serious about getting rid of fibroids in 2026, okay? That's my 6-week womb healing experience. Before we get to the rest of the live stream, is there hope to heal scar tissue after myomectomy? Okay, great question. Yes. But guess what? Okay. If you go the medical route, more than likely not. Do you know the beauty of womb healing? Not only does the fibroid shrink and dissolve, so does scar tissue, adhesions, so does cyst. Yes. Now, does it take some time depending on the situation? Yes. Depending on the amount of scar tissue, depending on how many surgeries? Yes. Okay. But it can be done. Thank you. I'm really serious. I don't want to go under the knife. Okay. So the 6-week womb healing experience, it is $1,500. You can pay half now and you can pay half in a month. So you can start off with $775. So yeah. So let's get on with the rest. So what does repeated surgeries on the womb do? Okay. What is repeat? Because we don't understand. A lot of us don't understand what these surgeries do. Scar tissue formation. Okay. Somebody messaged scar tissue. As a matter of fact, a lot of women are coming to me with adhesions and scar tissue from sometimes even just one surgery. Sometimes even just one surgery. A lot of women are coming to me with adhesions and scar tissue. Okay. So it's really important. It's really important that you guys understand that the doctors are not going to tell you that these myomectomies y'all are having, these surgeries come with scar tissue internally. Scar tissue, it develops internally, and it can contribute to, adhesions around not even in the uterus, also too near the tubes. They can block the tubes. Scar tissue can block your tubes. There's a lot of women that have had myomectomies that now have blocked tubes. Okay, so they can also cause damage to the surrounding organs as well. So it can disrupt the natural function of the uterus, scar tissue, and make it harder to get pregnant. It can cause chronic pelvic pain. And also, too, a lot of women, also, too, after having surgery, after having myomectomies, they develop later on endometriosis. A lot of women have they start out with fibroids, then it becomes fibroids and endometriosis. Or due to having surgery, they end up having endometriosis, right? These lesions, holistic healing wasn't taught at a young age. Yeah, it wasn't. It has to be passed down because it's not taught at a young age. It has to be passed down by the family, the mom, dad. I'm trying to get educated to pass it down to my daughter. Absolutely. It's our responsibility. They're not going to do it for you. The doctors are not going to do it for you. They're not. Because they want you to stay sick. They want you to stay sick. They don't want you to heal. Because if you heal, you're not a lifetime customer. Especially if you're the same color as me, they don't want you to heal, right? If they want you to become a lifetime customer. So we have to understand and know that. I know that a lot of us don't want to live in reality. A lot of us, you want to believe that these doctors and the healthcare have my best interest at heart. I'm so sorry. I'm here to break it to you. They don't. And especially if you're a woman, especially the medical system is very patriarchal. This is why they're removing women's wombs, especially in the US. Oh my God. Every little thing, hysterectomy, and you guys are eating it up. They're removing your wombs and snatching them out like nothing else. And y'all are eating them up. And then we have women that have been so brainwashed. This is what they used to do in slavery, by the way. Okay? To Black women in slavery. And now we're actually volunteering for them. They've actually tricked you into thinking this is the best option instead of you actually healing. But women that have hysterectomies, their health starts to fall apart because they did not address the root cause of the problem. They've lied to you so that if you have heavy bleeding, if you have, fibroids, then you need to have a hysterectomy. No, you do not. What you need to do is get to the root cause of the problem and heal your body naturally. Okay? Because that problem will manifest. You can snatch out your uterus all you want to. It will just manifest into another problem, health problem. This is why women that have hysterectomies and they don't address the root cause, their health just falls apart and they wonder why. You can't take out a vital. I don't care if you want to have children or not. It's yours. It's your womb. Right? And when you take out your uterus, you automatically, just like I said, disrupt your hormonal balance automatically. It may not be a vital organ to live, but it's a vital organ for you to function, at your optimal level. I had my 4th myomectomy in December, 2 within 4 months. What? Oh my God! I had to pin that 2. What? I'm speechless. Jesus, I'm speechless. 4 myomectomies, 2 within 4 months. User 316. Are you in the US, by the way? Because how? And I'm so sorry you've been through that. Gotta go. Is there a preferred way to contact you for inquiries? You can email me, Latrice, or you can send me a message on TikTok. Okay, yes, please like and subscribe if you're watching from YouTube. Fibroids I'm literally speechless. You're in the US. I'm literally, I don't get speechless a lot. I'm speechless, and I'm so sorry that they did that to you. That's just so sad. And it's disgusting that they did that to you. 4 myomectomies and 2 within 4 months. I hope y'all are listening. Y'all that have these myomectomies scheduled, or you're thinking about having a myomectomy, I hope y'all are listening. I hope y'all are listening, because guess what? It just sets you up for more myomectomies. You have to get to the root cause of the problem. We're in a time where you have to get to the root cause of the problem, or you will just continuously suffer. These fibroids will become, like I said in the beginning, an ongoing issue in your life. It's not going to go away. They will go away temporarily. They'll come back. They'll go away temporarily. They'll come back. They'll go because you haven't addressed the root cause. You can't trick your body into healing. You have to do the work. You have to do the work. Okay, I had one that lasted for 10 years, which I did expect. Listen, you lucky, because people, it's lasting for months. Like there's so many women that come to me that said less than 6 months they had fibroids again after the surgery. And that's more common than ever, okay? I had mine in March, and my period had given me so much relief. I manage it now by diet. Okay, but you still have to get to the root cause of the problem. I understand that, and it's not just diet, ladies. Diet is important, but it's not just diet, okay? It's not just diet. And it's not, we have to stop, let me just say this too, we have to stop settling for temporary relief. Too many of you ladies are settling for temporary relief, and you're not looking at your health long term. You're not looking at your health long term, right? It's not just about feeling good today, it's about feeling good today and my long-term health. And if you have tumors, if your body develops tumors, you got to take that seriously. Because if you can develop tumors in your uterus, you can develop tumors anywhere. And I'm not saying this to scare you, because I had fibroids, but you cannot, like I said, think that surgery is going to save you. It's not going to save you. And if you don't do the work, those fibroids will be right back. I'm telling you this. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. I've been doing this for a long time. And the amount of women who I told don't have that surgery, they had it. They can't. Every single one that I told do not have it, they came to me and said, you know what, Sasha? Either they started having the symptoms again, or they're like, these fibroids are back within a few months. And I'm like, at that point, I'm speechless, because I don't want to say I told you so, but that's just what it is. Okay. So let's finish out the live. So scar tissue can disrupt, these scar tissue from these surgeries can disrupt the natural function of the uterus, right? What program do I buy if surgery is scheduled in 2 months? It depends, Jen. It depends on how many fibroids you have, how big they are, whether you have any other reproductive health conditions. Because some people tell me they have fibroids, but then they also have endometriosis. So I need more information. But the 6-week womb healing experience, I'm saying that to everybody, is open now. Early access literally starts tomorrow. So if you join before midnight, you get to be in the program for 2 months instead of 6 weeks. Okay? This is for women that are serious about getting rid of their fibroids in 2026. I do have more higher level programs where you can work with me one-on-one. So if you have more, I would say, complex issue, then you should, that's for my intensive. Okay. Yeah. You can send me a message on here or email me to give me more information if you don't want to say it on here. Okay. The fibroids also causes precancerous cells. Well, yes and no. That is the yes and no. When you have fibroids, okay, so let me break this down. And because I talked about estrogen dominance earlier, right? When you have fibroids, right? Though the root causes of fibroid, like when you have fibroids, your body's estrogen dominant. So when you're dealing with estrogen dominance does not just come in the form of fibroids. Estrogen dominant can be ovarian cyst, it could be endometriosis. You can have 5 women that are estrogen dominant. In one woman, it could be heavy bleeding, heavy menstrual bleeding, and anemia. In another woman, it could be fibroids. In another woman, it could be endometriosis. In another woman, it could be PCOS. In another woman, so it just depends. Precancerous cells, it could also be just precancerous cells, yes. And I had a client with that as well. It could be precancerous cells, yes, but that's an estrogen dominant condition. A lot of people think that, it's from, HPV, but when you're estrogen dominant, you're more, the risk for HPV is higher as well. That's one thing they're not going to tell you. Okay. That's one thing they're not going to tell you. Your body is in an estrogen dominant state. That affects you. This is not just affects your hormonal health. It doesn't just affect, it affects even, this is why women are having anxiety, lots of depression as well because it affects your brain activity, ADHD, brain fog, right? This is why these things are, people think that it's a coincidence why every other person has it. No, right? Also, too, it affects your menstrual cycles, your fertility health, so many things. So many things, like even estrogen dominance can even look like asthma for some people, insomnia. I have to do another live on estrogen dominance because somebody asked, how do you dissolve fibroids? By addressing the root cause of the problem, okay? So the reason why you want to cancel your surgery is also because when you have, and let me just tell the story of the woman that came to me that had 5 myomectomies. 5 myomectomies over the course of 12 to 13 years, 5. And they kept growing back and she kept having surgery. I don't know why she didn't stop, but she kept having surgery and she still has fibroids to this day. They told her that because she had so much scar tissue due to the surgeries, that she more than likely can't carry a baby naturally. More than likely her uterus is not strong enough. So that's one thing too, as well. There's a loss of flexibility in the uterus when you continuously having these surgeries, right? It may, for some people, that loss of flexibility may just come after a couple surgeries. For some people, it could be one. You never know. You never know, right? How your uterus will take a myomectomy, right? It also interferes with your womb's ability to contract as well. This is why a lot of times women that have had these surgeries, they force you to have a C-section if you have a baby, right? Due to possible uterine rupture. So when you have these surgeries and you want to have, I know some of you guys don't want to have children because we're in a time now where people are saying we don't want to have kids. Okay. But there are women out there that do want to have children, right? Whether you want to have children or not, you should want to be in your best health. It doesn't matter. For yourself even, right? I had 3 C-sections. Yeah. Women that have fibroids, that have fibroids and that have had myomectomies, they will say, listen, it's a C-section, straight up. Right? Now, is that actually true? If you have had a myomectomy and you actually do the work on healing your body and getting to the root cause of the problem, you don't have to have a C-section, more than likely, unless it's an emergency or something like that. If you get your health in order. Now, if you haven't, yes, you do. And also, too, you got to worry about the fibroids growing back as well while you're pregnant. That's a whole other conversation, okay? And pregnancy and fibroids is no walk in the park. And some of you guys have been through that. It's no walk in the park. A lot can happen. It's high risk. This is why I don't understand why women are actively trying to get pregnant knowing they have fibroids instead of actually getting their bodies healthy first. Now, I understand accidents happen. People just get pregnant, right? But be intentional. You have to be intentional about, okay, getting your body healthy if you have fibroids. I have, and it's not fun. Yeah, it's not fun. It's a horrible experience. I haven't gone through it, but I've heard so many women have inboxed me, have messaged me. I've even worked with women that have been pregnant, and it's not fun, right? Until now, can you still, I wouldn't say shrink your fibroids, address your fibroids while you're pregnant? Yes, you can, and make the symptoms, go away, the symptoms of the pain. Yes, you can. You can. Okay, are fibroids and insulin resistance connected? Absolutely. Ooh, that's a good one. Absolutely. And I break that down in my courses. Absolutely, because you have to understand that when you have fibroids, your hormones are out of balance. Okay, and a lot of women, when they think about the hormones being out of balance, they just think about their sex hormones. It's not just your sex hormones. Your hormones are out of balance. So if you're talking about your hormonal balance, right, in order to even get to your sex hormones, you have to go through cortisol and insulin. That has to be dysregulated before we can even get to the estrogen and progesterone. So when you talk about the hormone hierarchy, right? So the foundational hormones are the estrogen and are the cortisol and insulin. And this is why it doesn't make any sense when women say they just want to address their estrogen levels. That's it. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. You cannot address the estrogen levels, your sex hormones, until you address what caused the sex hormones to become out of balance. Okay. Hope I'm making sense. So absolutely, insulin resistance, yes. And a lot of people think that just because their blood sugar levels are okay, that they're not insulin resistant. But what happens is that your insulin, your blood sugar will compensate for a long time before it actually shows up on the test. So that's something that you have to keep in mind, okay? Do you use green tea extract and vitamin? No. And I don't recommend, like, you can if you want to, but it's not going to get rid of the fibroid, okay? So can we eat fruits on? Yes, you can. Fruits don't spike your insulin like sugar. Like, fruit sugar is different than refined added sugar, okay? You can. However, I checked up. Okay, let me get to the rest of the live stream, but I appreciate you guys asking questions. I'm going to answer the majority at the end. However, I checked up on the last year, and it's the same size as 6 years ago. Okay. But it doesn't mean we just want to keep it there. That don't mean that we're just going to keep it there, but thank you for sharing that information. Now, increased risk of complications. And some of you guys who have had myomectomies, who have had fibroid surgeries, you already know. You've already been through it. Increased risk of complications. And not only just complications, also, I can't say it on YouTube and TikTok, but you could be unalived by the surgery. And that has happened to many women, even in the US. Yes, I covered a couple of stories like that. As a matter of fact, somebody came to me in my inbox who said that one of her best friends, young, I think she was in her 30s, married. The doctor told her that she had to have surgery to get, if she want to have children, to get rid of the fibroids. Shortly after the surgery, ended up passing away. Very sad, just like that. This is a reality of what could happen and when you're dealing with these surgeries. I'm not saying it's going to happen to everybody that had the surgery, but I know that surgery, there's a risk, but these surgeries, myomectomies comes with risks. They do. This is why almost every woman that I've talked to that's had a myomectomy, they had complications during the surgery. Almost everyone, literally. They had some type of complication. So we know that each surgical procedure carries risk, risk of an infection. And then also too, let's not even talk about the bleeding risk. Okay. I wish I could afford to get rid of my 15 centimeter fibroid. Just keep doing your best, hon. Was given tranexamic acid tablets to reduce the heavy bleeding, but it ain't helping. Y'all gotta stop falling for these medications. Stop. So how can I say this? Y'all gotta stop with these medications. Medications don't heal. And I get it when sometimes you're desperate because the bleeding can be so bad. Mind you, I literally just posted a video. I don't know if I posted it on TikTok yet, but I definitely posted it on IG and on Facebook about a woman literally who's bleeding for, what she said, she would have heavy bleeding for 2 weeks. And by the time she took one of my courses, and literally by day 3, the bleeding stopped. Had another woman. That's not even the only story that I've had about that. I've had several cases where women were bleeding. And within days of either working with me or taking one of my courses, it stopped. When they stopped actually doing things to trigger the bleeding. And I'm not saying that so you can work with me. I'm just saying that there's other ways. There's other ways than putting these pharmaceuticals up in you, making the situation worse. You already have bad health when you have fibroids. Okay. I'm tired of doing research. Can you give specific examples of what your holistic approach includes? Absolutely. Okay. So I will. So number 1, we address emotional healing, because when you have fibroids, listen, there's a lot that we're carrying emotionally as well. It's not just physically. Every disease has a spiritual root cause. So there's emotion we're holding on to. These fibroids also represent emotional blockages. So we're doing a lot of practices that release that's where you can process through your emotions that you've been holding, and the things that, whether it's heartbreak, grief, anger, sexual trauma, childhood trauma, you could process through them and start to begin to release them. So we work on that. We also work on, of course, you guys know, we have to adopt a womb healing diet. We have to take away the things that it's an entire lifestyle. So when you're working with me, everything, your entire lifestyle, from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, it's a lifestyle change. And even it's a mindset change in how you look at your body, how you look at your life, how you look at health, forming boundaries, putting yourself first, right? So think of it like a self-love journey. I'm not the type of person that said, hey, take this herb and heal. That doesn't heal. You got to get to the root of what caused the fibroids to occur in the first place? What is the root of that? The root of that is that you've neglected yourself. Tell me I'm wrong. You've neglected yourself some way, somehow, physically, spiritually, and mentally. You've neglected yourself, right? And some women, this could be due to stress. For some women, this could be due to, I don't know, they got into a relationship that was, that a toxic relationship, and they just, like I said, started, neglecting themselves. It could be because they had children and they didn't have much of a support system. So hopefully that makes sense, right? Okay, you guys are understanding. I was on the diabetic medication for 5 years. You can heal diabetes naturally. I started last year and started doing. I stopped. I think you're saying you stopped last year and started doing intermittent fasting. Great. You can heal diabetes, y'all. And I've done it before. Somebody had PCOS and diabetes and they've healed. They got their A1C to the normal number. I forget exactly the number it was, but to the normal number. What advice would you give if you can't afford my course? Subscribe to my Sacred Womb letter. Somebody, but it's $22 a month. So, the paid version is $22 a month. Somebody literally said that they had, I said it earlier, they had excruciating pain during their cycle. They had endometriosis. So their cycles, she said her whole life since she first got her period. And I put that testimonial on Facebook, posted what she said. Shout out to Vanessa Marie for the wonderful testimonial. And she said, since reading my Sacred Womb letters and applying what she learned, because it's not just reading, it's applying, applying what she learned and implementing what she learned. She said that her periods are no longer painful. And I was like, yay, her periods are so much better. So if you guys are interested, it's $22 a month in my paid community in the Sacred Womb letters. You can subscribe to the free version, but the paid version is where you're actually going to get the healing frameworks. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. If you can't afford to work with me, there you go. Okay, or if you can't afford the course, there you go. Okay. One for truth. Okay, I see your question. Healing diet. A healing diet, that means a diet, whatever grows from the earth, living foods. Okay, I don't want to get too much into diet because people are going to say, what about this? What about that? I taught a whole class on that last Monday. And that's in the Sacred Womb letters. Okay, the paid version, the $22 a month version. I literally taught a whole class, designing your womb healing diet for 2026. It's almost a 40-minute class, literally, okay? So if you need help with your diet, if you want to eat a womb healing diet, you need to subscribe to that. It's $22 a month, and you get, it's not just that, you get our whole library of articles and of, healing frameworks and teaching you more about your uterus, your womb, and your femininity. It's really, really amazing. For those of you that know that you listen, 2026 is about healing your womb. Subscribe, okay? I'm 51 years old. I have 9 fibroids. One of them is 13 centimeters. It grew this big in 12 years. The others are 5 centimeters and under 2 centimeters. I haven't done the operation. I'm interested in your work. Okay, Rika, feel free to email me. My email is in the link in the description box. If you want any more questions, if you want more questions, if you have any other questions, okay? Which program do you suggest? My core issue is anger, which I'm processing through now. Okay, so we got quite a lot of fibroids. For 9 fibroids, I would recommend my detoxify your womb program. I do have a 3-month intensive. Okay. A 3-month intensive inside of my Detoxify Your Womb program. I would recommend that. Email me so I can send you, that's not on our site, but I can send you the link for that. And so you can just read it and see if it's for you. You can read more information about it, the testimonials, and see if it's for you, right? The description. But don't forget to email me. Don't forget. And also subscribe to our email list. If you're watching from YouTube, subscribe to our email list. I subscribe to your course, but the 15 steps to eliminate fibroids, there are 3 videos. Okay, yeah, go through all the videos. The steps are in the videos, okay? The steps are in the videos. Watch the videos fully and implement them. Have you watched them? GBZ, have you watched the videos? Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so what does these surgeries, what you have to understand the impact. Thank you so much for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. You also have to understand the impact that they have on your reproductive health, ladies. So these repeated surgeries, what are they? So if we keep having these surgeries, right? What impact will they have in pregnancy? what impact will they have in fertility? They have an impact on your body, okay? They have an impact. So it's important that you understand and know that. You cannot think that you can go through having a myomectomy and it's not going to have an impact on your health. Like you're literally talking to somebody that's been through it on her own, right? That's been through that. And it did have an impact on my health. And that's actually one of my regrets. And I actually ended up growing fibroids again, okay? And actually went through the journey of healing my womb, of healing the root causes of why I got fibroids, right? That was a journey. But it was a beautiful journey because I can say I've been fibroid free ever since, and my health has been top tier since. Of course, you have to maintain it, but it's a journey that helps you address the areas of your life that you've actually, yes, I'm fibroid free now, I've been fibroid free for over 10 years. It's a journey that has helped you, that not only helps you get rid of fibroids, helps you balance your hormones, helps you feel more alive in your body. Because when you have fibroids, it really does take away from you. You almost feel like less than a woman. And I've been there. You almost feel like, why is my body not functioning the way it's supposed to? You know, your periods are healthy. You feel more aligned with not just your menstrual cycle, not just you feel more aligned with your body. You feel more aligned with you, right? You feel more connected with you. And you've also released those things that cause the fibroids. And when I say that, I mean energetically as well. So it's a lot deeper than just getting rid of fibroids. It's also releasing the things that cause, like these emotional traumas that we've been through that have also caused the fibroids to develop. So it's a lot deeper. So it's like, that's why I say the womb healing journey is like a self-love journey. It's like a return back to you and yourself. Thank you so much for the gifts. What do you do to help my womb? I don't know if you've been following me. I'm literally a womb healer, okay? Literally a womb healer. So that's what I do. You guys check out my page. Unfortunately, you haven't shared anything that would compare me to this. That's totally fine. And it's not a program, hon. It's sacred womb letters. That's totally fine, okay? Hold on. Okay, so like that did not have to be announced. Yeah, I need more than. So you have to go deeper when it comes to healing your body, okay? I have a fibroid, but doctor said it's not too big. Do you have medicine? I don't do medicine. We don't do medicine over here. It's about holistic healing. It's about holistic healing, okay? It's about holistic healing. I want to say this because I want to say this, right? When it comes to your health, when it comes to healing your body, it's so important that you're not always looking for the next best thing. A lot of us are just looking for what supplement to take, what remedy to do, what healing modality to try, instead of actually doing the work that's in front of us, to actually improve our health the best way we can. So even if you never work with me, that's totally fine. But what are you doing to improve your health? A lot of people are trying every supplement they see. None of that is healing your body. They're trying every supplement, everything they see on TikTok, everything they see on Facebook. That's not how you heal. And the women that I work with are high-level women. I know. The women that I work with are high-level women. They're successful in their careers. They have a great life. They're successful in their careers, in their social life, right? They travel, they're getting massages, they take care of themselves, they take care of their health. But when it comes to this one thing, when it comes to when we talk about going deeper, right? Because it's a lot deeper than just getting a massage and doing these things for your health. When it comes to actually healing your hormones, when it comes to healing your body, there's a self-neglect there. There's a self-abandonment there, right? So you got to look past the surface levels. You got to look past the surface level. And that's the work that a lot of people don't want to do. They want to just look on the surface when it comes to, and again, that's the supplements, that's the acupuncture. A lot of you guys have tried that stuff over and over and over again and still have the issues, okay? And still have the issues. So I want to say that. It's important that you actually get to the root cause of the problem, okay? And you have to ask yourself, what am I doing is the lifestyle that I'm living contributing to my health? Is that lifestyle that I'm living contributing to my health, or is it actually taking away from my health? You have to ask yourself that, right? I can't come in your body and do the work for you. I had fibroids. I've been passing blood clots and had Bad pain during my period. I'm so sorry. I've been trying to heal it naturally. Yeah. It can be healed naturally. It can be healed naturally, exclusive. Thank you for your comment. So I want to say this, you cannot, like I said, I know the women that are watching me, their intuition is telling them not to have surgery. They don't want to have surgery. And I know that sometimes when you've feel as though you've given up, you've tried everything, you're like, let me just have the surgery. But you have to ask yourself, have I actually tried addressing the root cause? Have I actually tried addressing the root cause? Have I actually tried addressing the root cause of the issue? Or am I looking at this issue on a surface level? Okay. So I wanna factor in that. I talked about earlier. So if you guys are coming in now, we've been on here for almost an hour. Be sure to get subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can watch the rest of the live stream. But I want to say this. You want to know and trust that your body is very powerful and it can dissolve fibroids naturally. It can shrink and dissolve fibroids naturally, but you have to get to the root cause of the problem. You got to get to the root cause of the problem. You have to get out of your body's way so that it can actually heal. Getting out of your body's way is not drinking a tea. I'm so sorry. It's not doing a detox. It's the habits that you are doing every single day. It's consistency, it's discipline every single day. You cannot just do something for 2 weeks or a month and think that your fibroids are going to be gone, right? You can't just follow a protocol for 2 weeks or a month and think that it's going to be gone. You have to, like I said, it's deep. That's why it's deeper than just surface level stuff. You have to be ready to change your lifestyle. And a lot of you guys are not. You want to hang on to the bad habits. I'm not saying everybody, but there's women out there that are watching that want to hang on to their bad habits, and they just want to take a tea or a supplement and think that that's going to do the trick, and it's not. Okay. So it's really important that you know that. Okay. Is it passing blood clots, or you got to look at it and see if blood clots dissolve, if it's actual, you can tell the difference between blood clots and a fibroid. Fibroid is going to be like actual substance. Blood clots are going to kind of like dissolve. Okay. So thank you. Now, any questions before we go? Any questions? Any questions? Again, for women that want to work with me and actually do the work, my 6-week womb healing experience is open. The link is in my bio. If you start tomorrow, if you start before tomorrow, you get to be in a program for 8 weeks. We're starting early access tomorrow. Early access starts on the January 5th. So for women that join tonight before midnight, I know it's not nighttime when you guys are in the US, but for women that join before midnight tonight, you can be you have 8 weeks in the program. Tomorrow, early access, you guys will get access to the curriculum for those that join a 6-week program. And then on January 19th is when it really starts, right? That's when we'll do the Zoom calls, okay? So if you're ready to join, let's go. It's 2026. It just turned into a new year. This is the year to get rid of your fibroids. This is the year you need to get rid of your fibroids and stop hanging on to them. I'm saying that with love, okay? I'm saying that with love. You have to So if you're ready to work with me, let's go. The link is in my bio for the 6-week womb healing experience. Join tonight so you can get in there. You can be in there for 8 weeks instead of 6 weeks. That's a crazy deal. And it's at a special price. It's $500 off the regular price if you join. So you may want to join. The link is in my bio. If you want to ask me a question about which program will be right for you, the link, send me either an email, which is also, you can email me by the link in the bio, or if you're watching from YouTube, the link in my description box, or you can send me a message on TikTok, okay? If you're watching from YouTube, my email is in the link in my description box, okay? That's all I got for you guys. Again, why you should cancel your fibroid surgery, because your body can shrink and dissolve fibroids, and you do not want to continuously grow fibroids over and over again without getting to the root cause of the problem. You want to get to the root cause of the problem, okay? You don't want fibroids to become a reoccurring issue in your life, and we don't want, other risk factors that surgery comes with. This, the uterine scarring, the issues with later on with fertility, possibly, right? We want to address the actual root cause so that we don't grow these fibroids right after having surgery again, which a lot of women do, right? So hopefully that this resonates with you guys. That's all I have to say. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your weekend, great rest of your Sunday. And again, if you want to work with me, let's go. Let's get rid of these fibroids, okay? Have a good one. Bye, ladies. Get on the email list.